Welcome to Once Upon a Pipe. A few days ago, I was in my office area at work, and it was the coldest day that we've had this winter. Now, just a few days later, it is in the low 60s, and it's February the 3rd. Since this is such a warm and beautiful day, I'm going to be getting out the brown bomber and getting it some exercise. So Wyndham and I just uncovered it, and now we just have to make sure that that it's going to start. I brought along with me today my Dagner, but I replaced the stem on it. Actually, not really replaced, I just kind of traded out the original stem, which was about this long, with the stem from another corncob spool pipe. So I actually really like this. Really like this. And I think what I have in here today is Sutliff's Great Outdoors. It's been a while since we've started the brown bomber, so the goal is hopefully that it starts okay, and then I'm gonna bring it out, let it run for a little bit, check the fluids, get it washed off. Hopefully the kids help volunteer to do some of that, and then I'm gonna exercise it. I'll take it to church tonight and probably drive it for a couple days this week until the weather gets bad, but I'd like to at least run through a tank of gas on it, and that helps to keep it from just sitting there too long and getting to where it gets in a condition where I can't use it anymore. All right, Wyndham, let's see what we got here. So I'm gonna have to pump the gas pedal about 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna pull a choke. We put a choke down here. So I use my left hand to turn the ignition, my right hand on the choke. And then as soon as it catches, I'm gonna push the choke back in and then give it some gas. We're getting there. Okay, so it's been setting for a while. However, that really was not bad. It started, and that's a good sign. I need to make sure that it will kick into reverse, and then we'll pull it on out. car, there's no buttons to hook or press on the inside rather, and so to get the hood open, I know that on this Polaris it's between the D and the O in the Dodge, and then that unlatches it, and then right underneath the D, push down, raise up, and there it is. Too far down. This engine actually sounds pretty good. It's a 1970 Dodge 318, which is original to the car. I haven't really done anything with this engine at all. It does need work. It leaks a lot of oil and other fluids, but it does run really well. And that actually, for not having been run in a couple months, sounds pretty good. So what I want to do now is just let it heat up, warm up a little bit. Then I'm going to check my oil. I'll check my transmission fluid. To check the transmission fluid in the Dodge, it's got to be in neutral and the engine has to be running. So I think what I'll do first, because in order to check the oil I have to turn the car off, I'm going to check my transmission fluid first, and then I'll turn it off to check the oil. Since it is pretty warm out here today, it's not going to take this very long to warm up at all. All right, so basically all of the gaskets and seals throughout need to be replaced on this engine. Before my dad got it many years ago, the car sat and was never driven. It just sat and sat and sat for years. And even when my dad got it, he didn't drive it very often. So I think the car only had 23,000 miles on it, or 26,000 miles on it when I got it. And now it has 59,000. So I drove it pretty consistently for 5 years. On this Dodge, the oil is up front to check it. This is your dipstick, okay? The transmission fluid is in the back. And you'll see a little instruction here that says check when hot, idling in neutral. You can see we're low. For the oil, we're going to turn that off. All right, so it's a little low. We can add a little bit of oil, probably about a half a quart. The one thing about this car, it does leak. It'll leak oil, power steering fluid, transmission fluid, and everything else. So I'll add a quart of oil, or half a quart of oil, and then I'll get a little bit of transmission fluid to put in there.
Come some of the work gets kinda hard, and this ain't no place to be if you plan on being a star. Let me tell you, it's always cool, and the boss don't mind sometimes if you act the fool at the car wash. Whoa, 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 talking about the car wash, yeah. Come on, y'all, and sing it for me. Car wash, woo, woo, woo. Car wash, yeah. Work and work. Well, those cars never seem to stop coming. Work and work. Keep those bags and machines humming. Work and work. My fingers to the bone. Work. If I can't wait till it's time to go home. Hey, get your car washed today. Fill up and you don't have to pay. Come on and give us a play. Get a wash right away. Like car wash. Talking about the car wash. Car wash, yeah. Come on, y'all, and sing it with me. Car wash. Sing it with feeling, y'all. Car wash, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Those cars never seem to stop coming. What I say, keep those bags and machines. The car wash, yeah. Come on and sing it with me. Car wash. Sing it with the feeling, y'all. Car wash, yeah. Come some of the work gets kinda hard, and this ain't no place to be if you plan on being a star. Let me tell you, it's always cool, and the boss don't mind sometimes if you act the fool at the car wash. Whoa, 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 talking about the car wash, yeah. Come on, y'all, and sing it for me. Car wash. Woo, woo, woo. Car wash, yeah. Well, those cars never seem to stop coming. Work and work. Keep those bags and machines humming. Work and work. My fingers to the bone. Work. If I can't wait till it's time to go home. Hey,
The bomb is done, so it's ready to go. So thanks for watching Once Upon a Pipe. Like and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up.